All right, folks, welcome to the channel. It's always an honor and a privilege to be with you. I hope you're all doing great. Buckle up and strap in. I got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows and sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. And folks, the real estate industry is about to have a very rude awakening. Are you seeing what's unfolding right now with this real estate market? Are you seeing what's unfolding right now with our economy? I know you are. I know many of you are, because I go to the gas station or the grocery store too. I pay my utility bills too. Unfortunately, a lot of people are no longer going to be able to spend the way they were once spending. We're already hearing reports by the end of this year, people that were managed to save a little money in the euphoric get paid to stay at home climate and this gravy train that became the real estate industry are going to be out of savings, friends. This one is scary. This one is so very scary. Today, what I want to talk about, friends, I want to shed a little light on what you need to know about the real estate industry. Again, I've been always very forthcoming with my audience. If you're new, please subscribe right away. Right now, the window is shrinking to get on board, because this thing is about to unfold in hyperspeed. But I've been very transparent in letting you guys know exactly what's going on with the inner workings, the dirty little secrets in the real estate industry. The realities are, friends, is that, I've talked to many of you. I've talked to many clients throughout this whole buying, this bubble. And this was just a complete blip in the radar. This real estate bubble was such a big, massive, just come out of left field, out of nowhere, gravy train, hit the lottery type of situation for real estate professionals. They got spoiled, unwilling to work with you if you weren't going to be an easy transaction for them. And now they're circling back with you, wanting to talk to you again. They were once blowing you off, and now they want to be your best friend, don't they? They want to talk again. Oh, hey, I just thought I'd call, reach out to you and see if you're still in the market. We got some stuff. Blah, 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 blah. It's tricky times. Anytime there's been booms in the real estate industry, of course, it attracts a lot of new agents come pouring in. Meetings every week, we see a lot of new agents coming in. The reality is, 80% of people that get a real estate license drop out within 1 or 2 years. It's very hard to make it in this industry, especially if you start basing your cost of living on a year or two's worth of, sales. There's booms and busts in the real estate market. So if you've based your cost of living, you're in a house payment, a car payment, everything's based on this pandemic driven real estate bubble performance in the industry, you are done in a big way. You are going to be one step away from your clients, needing to sell. And let me just tell you, when you need to sell or you want to sell, you certainly don't want to use an agent that's in worse shape than you. Oh, gosh, this is insanity what we have to talk about. So the reality is, friends, is the real estate industry is getting a very a dose of what's coming right now. They are seeing the writing on the wall. They are now circling back and reaching out to people they were blowing off to see if they're still interested in getting into the market. Unfortunately, a lot of the people in the industry, like I just described, have drank the Kool-Aid themselves. A very small percentage were willing to admit that, in fact, this was a real estate bubble, and B, maybe had the possibility of not being able to sustain itself, and C, the big kicker is, could there be a real estate crash? Anybody that's not even willing to entertain that idea, that say, no, there's no way, is completely believes in Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, and quite possibly the Easter Bunny as well. Listen, friends, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this one out. So for me, personally, and I know that's why you guys continue to come watch the show, is because I'm an industry guy admitting those things that you've all thought, and you're just hearing somebody now admit it in the industry. And it's just the transparency that allows me to be a success in life, because again, at the end of the day, this is a people-driven business based on trust. And if I try to sugarcoat it and tell you that this bubble can sustain itself, and this time it's going to be different, in the last bubble it was the loose lending industry, I would be lying to you. It doesn't matter what puts you into a bubble. The facts are you're in one, and now we're hitting the tipping point. We're seeing it, right? We're seeing what inflation and recessionary pain is doing to these markets. The rising interest rates and runaway inflation are cooling down these markets, and the federal government has said as much as that they're not going to reverse course, that And they're just politely telling you if these markets crash, they're not going to come bail it out again. And I just really think that, you know, you've got to pretty much expect that, in fact, to be the case. Can I guarantee it? Of course not. Nobody can guarantee anything in this wacky time we just lived through. But the reality is this is cooling off. So you got to understand, people working in real estate, they're going to pretty much cater to whatever you need to hear to get you to make a move. If you want to sell your property because you think there's going to be a crash, all of a sudden they're in complete agreements with you. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm feeling a crash too, right? Or whatever. They're going to cater to that. If you want to buy and you're like, but is there going to be a crash? No crash. This time's different. The last time was loose lending. This time, the government won't let us crash. They're going to tell you whatever you need to hear. You know that. You know that. You don't need to hear it from me. But I think you need. You know, it doesn't hurt to hear it from me. That's what's going on out there. So as you see this move forward, friends, the bottom line is you're going to see a lot of people reach back out to you, wanting to ask if you're still interested in buying or selling real estate. You'll see a lot of the narratives now that we're returning to a more normal housing market, or a softening housing market, or it's turning into a buyer's market. These are all words that were uttered in the last real estate bubble. So for me, I like yawning as I say it because I've heard this all before. The realities are, friends, for me personally, I just think there's nothing wrong, and I'm willing to earn people's business later, putting them on the sideline. I'm just not fine with walking somebody into the biggest real estate bubble and seeing them spend their life savings, house poor, one hiccup in their income could throw them into a tailspin, and they're now dragging a depreciated asset along for the ride until they ultimately have to sell the house. And then I'm the bad guy that sold them the house, that told them everything was going to be rainbows and sunshine when it quite possibly wouldn't. Like I said, I'll help people buy right now. I'm doing it. But the reality is I'm going to have an honest conversation with them and not just be some slimy salesman trying to scratch their itch to get them to pull the trigger on a sale. It's just me. It's who I am. And any successful person out there is doing the same thing. They're not sugarcoating it. Anybody that is to just purely FOMO people into sales will probably be in the same boat as their buyers or sellers at some point, because they've clearly drinking the Kool-Aid too, and they're putting their needs before their clients. And at the end of the day, that will only take you so far. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, somebody who not only wants to see you win in real estate, wants to see you win in life, understanding that buying in the top of the biggest bubble ever produced in world history probably won't provide that. Buying outside the bubble will. We can't time the bottom, but we can certainly time the top. We are, in fact, in it as we see these days on market price reductions and listings start to pour in. This is just the start. Be careful of the narratives you hear of it's a softening or a buyer's market now. This and that. The reality is we're probably headed for a significant correction at minimum. A recession is possible, and a full-blown depression cannot be ruled out. My job is to continue to heat map, temperature check it, become a voice of reason in what's clearly become an unreasonable real estate market to help you make educated decisions as you navigate your way through it as well. If you appreciate the content, I do want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment below. Social media links are in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there, along with channels that I've supported and have supported me. I think you would enjoy. If you're interested in buying or selling real estate in America, there's an email for you as well. I'll be happy to personally help you with those needs. If you're interested in free stocks from WEBULL, EKSTER's amazing wallet, Forbes calls the most successful wallet in the world, and Realthy for real estate professionals to make money off of goods and services while they do all the work. Links in the description below how you can take advantage of those. I strongly urge you to take a look at those. If you're watching from your television set today, another video should be popping up in your screen I think you would enjoy, along with an easy subscribe icon I want to politely ask you to use if you haven't already. As always, thank you for your time today. Go make it count. I'll see you on the next video.